Remarkable treasures are on display at the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture to celebrate its centennial. The building was initially just a branch of the New York Public Library, but about 100 years ago, librarian Ernestine Rose helped make the case that it should instead be something special.
So the Division of Negro Literature, History, and Prints opened on May the 8th, 1925, and it was, as you can see from the flyer, the literary event of the year.
The Schomburg's curator of manuscripts, archives, and rare books, Barry Brown, says by that time, with people migrating from the South, the Caribbean, and elsewhere, Black people made up 95% of the local population.
In 1925, that's the height of the Harlem Renaissance. So as you can imagine, the desire for books buying about Black people is very high. Ernestine Rose, who was a white woman, she hired the first Black librarian at the New York Public Library, Catherine Latimer. So this was the first library to have an integrated staff.
Around the end of the centennial, another huge milestone will be honored. In May of 1926, the library acquired the collection of Arturo Schomburg.
Arturo Schomburg, I would say, is the most famous bibliophile of the African diaspora. So he is Afro-Puerto Rican, and his whole life's mission was to collect what he called vindicating evidences. So this is the tangible evidence of Black brilliance, creativity, and resilience.
One of Arturo Schomburg's good friends was artist Aaron Douglas, who in 1934 painted a series of 4 murals called Aspects of Negro Life. They showed life in Africa, then the Deep South, slavery and Reconstruction, and then the Great Migration North. This centennial is the first time they've been displayed in such a way that people can get up close and see all the fine detail. Schomburg was friends with many luminaries of the time, including the great writer Langston Hughes and sculptor Augusta Savage. The Schomburg's curator of art and artifacts, Tammy Lawson, says Savage was a leading artist of the Harlem Renaissance.
This is a bust executed by Augusta Savage of Genevieve Nelson, who was a nurse at Harlem Hospital. Augusta Savage is phenomenal and noteworthy because she was an artist, teacher, activist. Not only did she have several art schools here in Harlem, she took people with her as she rose.
Lawson says when First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt came to Harlem during the Depression, she was impressed with the Savage art schools and saw them as a model for WPA programs across the U.S. Also on display is a bust from 1873 done by Italian artist Pietro Calvi, showing a Black actor playing Shakespeare's Othello.
This is a portrait of Ira Aldrich, who was a Black thespian who was born here in New York but made his name in theater in London.
Another part of the exhibition is the World War II Letters Project, which was spearheaded by Dr. Lawrence Reddick.
These are letters that servicemen and women sent to their families, sent to each other. Dr. Reddick put the call out in many popular African-American newspapers of the day to let people know that they could send their letters here.
One clipping reads, "These letters tell what the men have experienced in camps and on the fighting fronts, how they have been treated and how they have treated others. Don't throw away that letter." Wonderful photos are on display for the centennial, and LaTanya Autry, Associate Curator of the Photographs and Prints Division, says you can make an appointment to see many more.
We have photographs by James Van Der Zee.
And what was special about his work?
You know, what I love about it is the everyday people who could kind of go to his studio and they could rent hats, furs, whatever. This is an important time for Black Americans. Many people had left the South. They moved to New York City. They wanted to kind of, have this dignity of themselves, and James Van Der Zee was able to give them that. These photographs are by Gordon Parks. This is Ella Watson. This is a picture of a woman who was a janitor who worked in the Capitol building. This is her at work, and this is her at home. He's a very important photographer. He thought of photography as like being a weapon. The camera is a weapon against injustice, against poverty.
The Centennial exhibition also highlights the American Negro Theater, which began and still operates here.
Ruby Dee and Ossie Davis got their start there, Sidney Poitier, Harry Belafonte.
Wow.
I know.
The center's collection has grown from Arturo Schomburg's 10,000 initial items to 11 million. It holds the papers of people like playwright Lorraine Hansberry, Malcolm X, writer Maya Angelou, who also volunteered here, and writer James Baldwin, who was born across the street and came here as a child. And Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther himself, worked here. At the center of the building is a permanent artwork called the Cosmogram.
It is the heart of the Schomburg Center. It's inspired by Langston Hughes' poem, The Negro Speaks of Rivers. It is also the resting place of Langston Hughes. So his ashes are interred right beneath this fish-shaped symbol here, and it has the words from the poem, "My soul has grown deep like the rivers."
That is the most famous line.
That is the most famous line of the poem.
I'm Donna Hanover for Arts in the City.